ACDC thing?
I have no idea.
You know what? That's going to attack really bad.
What?
Yeah.
ACDC? No.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Wrestling Guy podcast. I'm your host right here.
Started already? When you were coming down and saying, welcome to the Wrestling Guy
We're supposed to be
podcast.
serious when we start the show.
So you need your
What are you guys
puppet on your
talking
hand.
about? You're talking about
Puppet on your
ACDC? Come on. We got a beautiful guest today, and you guys are talking about ACDC? Really?
Well, you know what? His beard is kind of trimmed, so
I
yeah.
do. I need a trim.
Sorry.
I shaved.
Did you?
Yeah, just for today.
Oh.
Let's get
Why, is
something
Mundo
out
coming
clear
over?
before anything, guys.
Yeah.
Before we get with our lovely guest, let's get this clear. What happened with Mariah Moreno?
Traveling issues.
Traveling issues? Because I understand she was supposed to be here yesterday.
Or day before yesterday.
Or
2 days ago.
Before, so
Traveling issues.
traveling issues.
Traveling
Was
issues.
there like any message or anything involved? So that way, because it was outside taking a photo, and there was no one.
Everything is good.
Everything's good.
Everything is fine.
Out clear the air.
Everything is fine.
Good.
All right.
We are good.
All right.
I give you my word.
Because, we like to be professional about these situations.
Yes.
And we don't want to have, a bad taste.
Let's clear the air. Butcher, I hear this is your last show.
It
Yeah,
is.
what the hell's wrong with that?
Well, you know what? I got another interest going on right now, and it's not a podcast, trust me. But
Leaving for
it's
Datura.
been exciting. And what?
Wait, are you leaving for Daturas podcast? If that's the case, I'm going too.
Okay. I do not jump ships.
That's all it took. Look at. That's all it took.
I'm moving
We
up.
did it.
I'm moving up. I'm moving up.
We did it. All right. Anyway,
Told you my plan
See,
would
it's
work.
not even important. He asks, and he looks on the damn fucking phone, and he's just like, oh,
And he always complains, I'm such a nice guy.
I am,
Only on camera.
but don't worry.
We should have like a little camera here when he's.
We'll do a hidden cam.
Don't worry, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
have found your replacement.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. I saw. I hope so. Keep always.
All right. Anyway, Butcher, let's introduce our beautiful guest today. Go ahead.
I'm very excited.
Mr.
I'm a huge fan of her, and I'm talking about the lovely and the beautiful here live at the Wrestling Guy podcast. Let's give it up for Miss Jennifer Thomas! Just for the record, guys, we always do a little intro like after the show, but you know what? This is our first intro, so you know what? You popped our cherry.
The last podcast.
That's the last one, yes.
Why you gotta always make it about sex?
It's not.
Pop our cherry pervert.
I'm sorry that you don't have one. But
He always wishes he had a cherry, though.
How are you?
I am fabulous. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming on this
Thank you so much.
crazy podcast.
No, crazier the better.
So this is how I'm glad to hear. So, what's new with you these days? What's going on? I mean, Jennifer Thomas, always looking fine shape.
I'm a yo-yo kind of girl, and I'm a now you see it. Like, I'm a now you see or now you don't kind of girl all as well. So when you ask me that question, I really don't have a solid answer for you because everything can change just from day to day, week to week. However, my passion continues to stay the same, and that is fitness, and that is wrestling. So, yeah.
Dave, do you have any questions? I mean, this is the first time you're next to a beautiful.
I know. That's why I'm trying not to make eye contact.
I mean, in my case, with all due respect, I'm Melissa Santos, but not compared to Melissa Santos to Jennifer.
We had a problem with Melissa Santos. She fell in love with me when she first made eye contact with me, so I'm trying to avoid eye contact because I don't want her to fall in love with me. It's Jennifer Thomas. Right here. Then she might be Jennifer Thomas Gomez.
Well, if
Oh, boy.
she drinks a lot of the
Oh,
Steve
boy.
Austin's beer, maybe.
Those, so no memory, and then
You are
I'll
on
buy some
medication.
whiskey.
He is on medication.
Yeah.
Jen, you have over I think about 5,000 people followers on Facebook and Instagram. I mean, I know there's a lot of horn dogs out there that like good luck. Yes, but you know what? They're all excited. I'm sure they're listening right now. So hey, guys, she's here live, so she's here to give you all the love and support.
That's right.
So how did you get involved in this crazy world of wrestling?
Good question. I had, most wrestlers that I know, they were fans of wrestling as children. They watched it on Saturday morning cartoons. They just grew up with it, and they're like, oh, I want to be a pro wrestler. That never happened to me. I never was a fan of pro wrestling. What happened was I moved to Venice Beach, California for the fitness bodybuilding scene. And that's where I would run into wrestlers. I didn't even know who they were at that time. I mean, I'm talking to them, but I'm like, I don't know who they are. And then they would tell me that they were in, with WWE or whatever. And they would say, well, you should try it. And I was kind of getting burnt out of dieting and training and so hard to get on stage and doing all that stuff. So I wanted to try something new. And I figured, well, this might be good because it allows me to still be, like, athletic and I can entertain at the same time. So I decided to give it a shot. So it pretty much started with people like Chris Bell. I don't know if you know Mad Dog Bell that passed away, years ago, right? His brother, and like Luther Reigns, and Mark Henry, and just all these wrestlers at the Venice Gold's Gym, because that's the Mecca, and it seems like a lot of people go there, whether you're a pro bodybuilder, or actor, The Rock, the Stone Cold, they're all there.
Right.
So, so
I just wonder is that it makes like probably the highest membership over there at Venice. I mean,
actually, it's like only like $39 a month. So,
Really?
yeah.
We're going.
We're going.
And it has the best entertainment there, too.
there
you go.
God knows you need it.
The entertainment or the fitness?
Both.
Oh,
Just don't wear those tight little shorts right now. Cause I'm,
He had
Yeah,
those
no,
pink Snoopy ones he keeps talking about.
He probably wears Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
so let me ask you this: how did you get into the fitness? What
Well, I
interested
used
you?
to be heavy because I had a son at a young age, and I kind of blew up from having my child. And for the longest time, I kept that weight on. And I used to be a track athlete before I was pregnant. So I figured, well, I'll just run my ass off and get this shit off me. And I started running, and I swear I was like Forrest Gump. I did not stop. I ran every single day. Every single day.
I did saw that photo. You put it before.
Yes.
And I was like, no. I
Mhm.
couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So you ran track?
I used to run track, yeah.
Where'd
Like
you
I was
run?
more of a like sprinter, 100 meter, 200 meter.
I used to run the mile.
Yeah, I was not good at the mile. Anything more than 200 meters, I was pretty much shit.
Did you do it in high school? I mean, just high school or
Yeah,
college?
no,
or-
I did it in some of college, but mostly high school and some of college. So I kind of just ran my ass off and started lifting weights. Next thing you know, I'm up on stage doing bodybuilding shows, and I never thought that would happen for me. But then when I went to higher level shows and I saw what the first place winner looked like, I'm like, I don't know if I want to look like that. So, I moved down to like the figure competitions, where you're able to keep more of a feminine physique, and I did that for a few years and went to. I always believe that if you want to be great at something, you have to be with people who are better than you, and I want to go where the best of the best is. So for fitness and bodybuilding, where was the best of the best? That's Venice Beach, So yeah.
Pretty much the place to do it.
Mhm.
Now, did you ever try like going to Mr. Olympia or?
I never. Well, I would go to those shows, and I used to work for nutrition companies and get sponsored to go work the booths. But did I try to be like a pro?
Right.
Yeah, in the beginning, I thought, we all want to be a pro at something. But after I realized how much, it's kind of like pro wrestling. Once I realized how much shit you have to go through, I'm wondering if it's worth it. So,
Is it still part of the cards? Like you'll still be able to focus at doing that?
as far as like,
yeah, competition wise.
no. In fact, I would love to have a competition physique, but without getting on stage. Because to be honest with you, okay, let me take this back. Okay, when I did it, kind of like I was in. How should I say this? When I used to compete, when I first started, basically, if I didn't get first place, I was devastated. And, I'm kind of like a high achiever. So basically, my whole value was based on what I looked like. And that kind of took its toll on me. So I've kind of transitioned out of that to where I know that I don't have to. I mean, come on, these judges at judges shows, they're freaking fat. And they've never even freaking done a show in their lives, period. And here they are judging a panel of competitors. Who's to say who one is better than the other when we've all done our best to look the way we are, and we do kind of look all similar. We all got calves, we all got biceps, we all have.
He said a fat dress. Oh no, she got too much leg. She's got too much breast.
Oh, she's got.
Yeah. That's what Trump said.
So I kind of want to look like the competitor without being the competitor. I don't need a trophy to feel great about myself. I don't need a pro card. A lot of people do have pro cards, but they're not making any money from that pro card. You know, so it's just kind of like. Plus, it takes a lot of pressure off of me too. So, you know.
Now, when did you start pro wrestling?
2003.
2003?
Yeah.
Now, you say you were not a big fan of wrestling. Who was like your main one that kind of drew you more closer? Was it like a WWE or someone in the indies?
It was nobody, really. Even though my dad bought me a book on China before this whole thing. I don't know why. I do not know why. Maybe that was like a sign. You know. And I even was China for Halloween once. So, I mean, so it's kind of funny, but no actual wrestler, like, you know.
Didn't influence you?
Didn't really.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just did it because I always have been an athlete. And it was more of a physical aspect than it was anything else. I didn't even know I would get so much heat sometimes, like, what? You don't know who Ricky Steamboat is? You know? And I'm like, no, who's Ricky Steamboat? So, like, so I really had to learn a lot, which I did, you know, because when I got into it, I wanted to learn everything about it. But I just didn't know everything about it before I got into it. And that caused a little bit of problems, but it's okay.
So why was wrestling an option instead of going back to track or doing something else?
I don't know. With track, I can only go so far with that as far as, you know. Nothing seemed to click the way wrestling did for me. Mm-hmm. It was just almost like it came on a golden platter and it was offered to me and nothing really kind of rose my eyebrow for anything else. I was just like, I'm going to give this a shot. So.
And then from there on, you just started liking it each day?
Well, I cried for the first 6 weeks. It was tough. I used to think wrestling was fake. It's not fake. Uh-huh. You know, when you get slammed, you get slammed. Sure. So you have to condition your body to get abused. Yeah. And that was a big hurdle for me to get over. In fact, I actually did quit for a while. And then Rick Bassman from UPW called me. And
good old Rick.
Yeah.
He's all, where are you? And I'm like, I think I'm going to quit. And then he actually said, you know what, Jennifer, stick with it. You don't have to pay me the big, you know, whatever that fee was.
He had a vision already.
And he's all just give me the $50, you know, dojo fee each month. And to me, that was like a sign. I'm into signs, opportunities, you know. So to me, that was a sign like, you know what, he's giving me an opportunity to do this, and I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to suck it up and take advantage of it. Because I have a tendency to start something and quit something, start, quit. Mm-hmm. And then I swore on myself. I said, I am going to stick with wrestling. Mm-hmm. I am not going to quit. I don't care if there's blood on my back from running the ropes back and forth. I don't care, whatever. I'm sticking with it. I'm sucking it up, and I'm doing it. And I did. And now I've been at it ever since. And, you know.
What was the name of the school that you started first?
Ultimate Pro Wrestling, UPW.
UPW? And then for UPW?
That's Cena's school, too, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cena was there.
Yeah.
Randy Orton?
Heinrich was there.
The Miz.
Yeah, Miz. Oh, yeah. That's where I first met Miz. That's where I first met him, yeah. Because he used to do shows all the time at
that's a face that's leading to a story.
Yeah.
Come on, give us the Miz story.
No, there is really no Miz story. The story doesn't happen until Arizona when I went to IZW with Navajo Warrior was running that school, and there was an instructor named Jack Bull. I don't know if any of you are familiar with him, but anyways, I fell in love with my wrestling instructor over there, and he got a contract with WWE and ended up going to Deep South, and I followed and trained at Deep South from IZW. Oh, cool. And then I went to OVW. So I was very fortunate enough to get to train. Like, again, it was like being in Venice Beach with the best bodybuilders and whatever. Now I'm in with the best of the best instructors and wrestlers. So it was, I feel very blessed that my life kind of went that direction.
Now, were you always like toned and everything when you were involved when you started with wrestling, or were you a little more slender?
Like I said, I'm a yo-yo, so so I kind of fluctuate. I think I was always on the more muscular side.
I think that's what most of
I'm a
a lot of the
yo-yo
trainers. I think that's what they
I'm a
saw.
yo-yo
Like,
too.
this
You're a
girl
yo-yo
got
too?
a lot of potential. She's got beauty.
I believe that.
It's just gonna blossom.
Bigger yo-yo, but I'm
Emotional yo-yo.
Well, I definitely looked the part, meaning like, okay, well, she's believable in the in the ring, but I started late. I mean, I didn't do my first lockup until I was 29 years old. So it was just kind of like my career with pro wrestling was really like,
Don't feel
people
bad.
are like, what were
I
you
started
thinking?
when I was 36, so don't feel
Really? Oh, okay. I don't feel bad now. Thank you.
And he's still learning.
I'm
Yeah.
still learning.
Well,
you
so
never
am
stop-
I.
You never stop learning.
Right. Never.
Now that since you didn't quit, like you were saying you were determined to do it. What's the hardest thing that you did in training? And how did it change your perspective to wrestling? Did it make you a fan after a while, or do you even watch it now?
I don't know if I should answer these questions.
It's all right. Be honest.
To be honest with you, the hardest part about wrestling for me was transitioning from all the physical aspects of it to the psychology of it, of telling a story. I was like, what do you mean tell a story? I didn't get how you could tell a story through what you're doing inside the ring. So it was more the psychology that was the most difficult for me to grasp. I remember having to do like the universal spot, headlock, shoulder tackle, drop down, leapfrog, and it's just kind of like there was a purpose for all that, but I didn't know what it was. It was like I was just kept on thinking of all the transaction back and forth stuff. So and Tom Howard really planted the seed with psychology for me.
Big dude.
Yeah.
Big tank.
Yeah. Did it make me a fan of wrestling?
Well, did it change your look on it? Because
Well, yeah, it did, because I thought it was going to come easy, and none of it was easy. It was very challenging. It's been the most challenging thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. It's been a blessing, and it's been a curse. I love it, and I hate it. So.
A lot of people like that. David just plainly hates it.
Kind of like having a co-host.
did you find it pressure to maintain the physique, though?
Yes, and pressure to meet an image that I felt WWE wanted, and I never felt like I could meet that criteria of theirs. I'm not a cookie cutter kind of girl.
Right.
So I felt kind of like, it was tough. And, they would say, oh, well, do your hair more blonde, do this, do that. And I kept on doing it and doing it. And I still wouldn't get in. I mean, I'd have plenty of tryouts, and I'd get close calls, but I never got the call.
Right.
So it was always frustrating trying to be some, and I'm not meant to be a platinum blonde. I'm not meant to be a lot of what they were asking for. So I kind of, with years of trying to meet their needs, I just kind of gave up on that. And I said, you know what, if they can't accept me for who I am, and then so be it. And
That's
I kind of,
I mean, it's like with Eva Marie. Now, I guess the whole storyline of her, I guess first originally they wanted her blonde, and then she went on her own, she did red. And then I think now, because now might end up going back to do blonde, so it's weird.
yeah, it is weird. And it's kind of like with bodybuilding, like they tell you that, oh, you need to work on this, you need to do that, you work on it, and then they tell you need to do something else. So you're constantly kind of going in circles trying to give somebody what they want, and it never is good enough.
Since you're a competitive person, when you got into wrestling, was the end game to be in WWE, or was it just to become a better wrestler?
Oh, it was, when I go for something, I want to go to the top. And to me, in my mind, WWE was the top. So that was what my goal was when I first, started wrestling. It wasn't to become a better wrestler. It was to be the best wrestler and be with WWE. That was my goal.
Is that goal still there?
Not really. I mean, I still want to be the best wrestler, but I don't really care about being with WWE anymore, believe it or not. Like, I found my peace. Now, if they were to call me now, would I say no? Hell no, I wouldn't say no. So
It seems like you were going in, training for WWE around that weird period that they had with the girls.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, I think for a while they had Victoria and
There's still Victoria there. They still had.
they had Luna.
Tori Wilson was still there.
Mickey James.
But I'm saying they had
a little bit later.
They did. So maybe was it during the time when they were just bringing up more of the playmate-looking girls, and that's why they were pressuring you maybe to dye the hair and.
Because they just started doing the Diva Search stuff then.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's when they around that
Yeah.
time, right? When they started doing the Diva Search.
That was about 04.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was frustrating, you know, because I always thought that you got hired like 1 + 1 equals 2. It doesn't work that way. Like you would get, and again, I got peace with it. But you know, you think you train your ass off, you go to training, you spend extra time training, that they're going to see your talent and you're going to get hired. But it doesn't work that way. Like they can hire a girl that they find in Hooters, and then she's going to be in the ring and on TV in a month.
Right.
You know, so it's just kind of like, huh? You know, so I'm like, well, what's more important, my training in the ring or getting my hair done or getting a new boob job?
Right.
I don't know. You know, so.
It's typical like Hollywood. I mean, either look the part or fit the part. If not, I don't care.
But see, in that I came into wrestling very naive. I found out all this stuff as I was going through it. I
Must have
didn't
been
know
really
that.
frustrating, even more so than people who were fans knowing that already.
Yeah, because I was blind, and I'm like, huh, and it didn't make sense to me. But then I was there with Beth Phoenix, at OVW with Beth Phoenix. She has a big, strong build. She's not your typical size 2 kind of girl. She's a powerhouse. I was there with ODB. I was, you know, so it's just, and I got to see Beth's struggle with trying to keep on shipping. She was hired under developmental,
Right.
but she wasn't on TV yet. You know, and it just kept on putting her off. She was one of the best wrestlers. I love Beth Phoenix. You know, she had everything. She's the full package deal to me. She's believable. She has the charisma. She has everything. And she did make it to TV, but I don't think she was there long enough.
I think it's 2 years.
Well, I think what the sad part is once again when Beth Phoenix was there, and you had Natalia, Natty, and you had Gail Kim.
Mm-hmm.
It was during the time where it was more about, they were, I think, more used to get these fitness models over, not fitness models, but these like Playboy models over, more than to get the wrestling over. And I think if they would have been around now, where it seems like, okay, they've kind of taken off, they're not really focused that much on the looks anymore. Now it's about more of the in-ring style. I think Beth Phoenix would probably still be there. And
Well, I wish
Gail
she'd go
Kim
back.
probably still, right.
She'd clean house.
Because I, you know, maybe you would have gotten that call up then, because now they're more focused on the in-ring, the psychology and all that, than the looks. Because you look at somebody, and no offense to her, but if you look at like somebody like Charlotte, she doesn't have that typical
And
diva
even she's
look.
got Dad by her side, but still, it doesn't ring. You know.
You want things to be believable, so it's really tough when you see someone like Beth Phoenix lose to Kelly Kelly. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on now, whatever. So I mean,
That was the
Like-
dream
like
match,
the
actually.
Bellas.
The if they would have built Beth Phoenix right, and then you had Karma come in,
Yeah.
that should have been a
and that was my
WrestleMania
wrestling
headline.
name. You know that.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah.
That was your next question?
Well, it's gonna be my fact or fiction. Bam.
You gotta watch out. These are Dave's smooth questions.
Oh,
He goes on. He's crawling on this one.
Got it. Okay.
Let me go back
Okay.
to your childhood,
Sure. Yes.
and let's go back at least high school. Were you the popular cheerleader girl, or were you more the nerd, or were you kind of like the outcast?
I was kind of the outcast.
Really?
Yeah. I never belonged to a certain clique. I'm kind of, nothing's ever changed either. I'm like a drifter. I'm one that can kind of get along with each group, but I don't stay in each group, and I don't belong to any of them. I'm just kind of like a wanderer, and I'm doing my own thing. So I never was a cheerleader type. If anything, I would say I would be a jock. You know, a tomboy, one to prove that I was stronger, bigger, faster than the boys.
You're on
You know?
track, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
You
So-
can compete in track. That's cool.
Yeah. So I was very competitive in the sports world, you know, but
So you've always liked sports.
I've always liked sports,
Did
yeah.
you play like softball or volleyball or
No,
anything?
I played powder puff football. They didn't offer wrestling back then for the girls,
Right.
you know, but mainly it was just track and field. Mm-hmm. I did try cross country, but I was no good at cross country.
I love the cross country. Got a stamina over here.
Yeah,
Running,
sure, there you go.
right? Running.
Oh, and running too.
Such a perv. But you said when you to get you into the fitness, you said you had a son, right?
Mm-hmm.
How old is he?
He's 23. I had him when I was a senior
Oh,
in
okay.
high school, so I had him young, 19.
So what does he think? Like, how old was he when you started wrestling?
Like 6, I think. 7.
Did he think it was cool to have a mom that was?
No, my son is so opposite of me. So opposite.
Really? I thought you'd be like, oh, that's my mom.
That's
you
my
know?
mom right
No,
there.
he's the type that walks 10 feet behind me. I swear. Like, he's just, I mean, he's been to, he went to Kentucky to visit me and went to a few of the shows, the OVW shows, but he's not like a wrestling fan. He's not into wrestling. I mean, or maybe he just doesn't want to give me the satisfaction to know it. That could be it, too. So, but he doesn't act impressed on anything I do.
I'm sure he's probably.
He probably is like, that's my mom right there.
Oh, well, he hates it when his friends are like, that's your mom.
That happened to Justice once, my
Wait,
older
wait,
son.
that's a quick question. Did any of his like friends or anybody at school just to come down?
Introduce me to Beth Phoenix.
They like come over like, hey, I want to see your mom instead.
Well, if they've asked him that, I wouldn't know about it because he's not going to tell me.
Right.
But
did you sense any of the young teenagers back in the days, like maybe they were like a little flirty and a little aggressive or anything like that?
no, they hit it well.
They hit it well.
Times have changed.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Right.
Justin, yeah.
Too funny.
Butcher probably was one of those teenagers.
It'll be obvious, trust me.
It'd be obvious.
It's obvious now.
He's still that way.
You walk with his books in front of him.
Wait right here. Go ahead.
Right.
Now, do you still take bookings for indie shows and stuff, or have you kind of?
Depends. I mean, I'll get asked. I don't search for bookings. I don't promote myself. But if I do get asked, like I was at OVW with Sin Bodhi, and he has the Freak Show.
Right.
So, like, I'll work his shows. And then just recently I did a Brian Kendrick's show.
Oh, okay.
So...
That's right. You had was it the mud or?
Oil wrestling.
Oil wrestling.
And
there
I
we
have
go.
to tell you, that was the most interesting show I've done in a long-ass time. Because I was in 2 different matches. One I was a Barbie. And then the next one I was like a dominatrix. And they were one right after the other. So I had to get all oiled up in the Barbie gimmick. And then literally the next match I have to play off this dominatrix. And I'm all wiping off this oil, trying to get my hair all whatever. It was a big mess.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
It's not Hollywood Tropicana.
Well, I know David wants to get an oil match with Sean.
Oh,
Right?
here we go.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you about the oil.
Yeah.
Quickly he went away from that.
When you have because I know it was all like a fun wrestling show,
Yeah.
but is it hard to like do a match like that knowing you just have a bunch of guys that are probably like, is it like uncomfortable?
She's doing
Let me
the
just say.
podcast.
Yeah, it's not much different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you hear this,
That was a good question because I was going to ask you that. What's the atmosphere when you're doing that? Because I'll admit, when I used to go to Hollywood Tropicana, when I used to see the mud, the wrestling, it's
why he's
not there anymore, guys.
Why do you think it's his last night?
You can see the hype, and of course, guys are just getting drunk and stupid, but they're excited. Is there any? I don't know if you've ever been to Hollywood Tropicana, but is it never been there?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
she's not your age, Butcher.
Is it anything similar, like with the excitement? Did the guys get crazy?
The crowd was in control. I don't really think about what's going on and what they're thinking while I'm in the middle of it. All I know is that Jezabella, she was giving me a wedgie and my whole freaking bottoms are going up my ass. So I'm thinking, oh, the guys are loving this, and that's what I was thinking in my head. But it's entertainment.
Yeah.
And I'm not really bothered by it too much.
No dental floss, huh?
Yeah, and I'm not comfortable with dental floss. I like the full body. I'm kind of conservative. I like to cover my ass.
Boy shorts.
Right, booty shorts, boy shorts, yeah. So.
Hold on.
So
Got it.
So that's what I was wondering. Is it a different mentality to do that kind of match than it would be like a regular match? Or do you come in just like, you know what, I'm here to entertain the crowd?
It was more fun kind of doing the oil match, to be honest with you, because I didn't have to think much. All I had to do was roll around, slip and slide, and stick my ass up in the air. I'm kidding. I'm just, but...
See, now you can do it.
I could do it.
So it was easier for me, and I think when it's easier for me, I'm able to get to character more. When I'm having to think about my spots in the ring and, oh my God, she just messed up, what do I do to cover this, and all these things going on, it takes away from my character. Yeah. So, because now I'm thinking about what do I do next in the ring. I'm not that good yet to figure all that stuff out. Even after all these years, I'm still not that good.
How fun is, because Freak Show actually has a show coming up, I believe, in April.
Yeah.
So how fun is it to be part of the Freak Show wrestling?
It is unbelievable. It's awesome. And what I like about it, because it takes me outside of my comfort zone. He throws me in different characters. So I have to pull off these different characters. And it's fun to do. So, I've kind of given up on establishing myself as a one type of character. Like I was Snow Cow Chloe.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
Yeah, so Snow Cow Chloe. But I've been so many different characters since then. I'm like, oh, forget Snow Cow Chloe. I can't develop Snow Cow Chloe. I'm too busy playing a boxing robotic nun, a jacked canary, a Barbie, a dominatrix. Let me just be everything.
Now, do you do the one in Vegas as well?
I'm going to go to the April 14th show.
Oh, cauliflower?
The ladders match.
Yes, the midget ladders match.
Yeah, the midget. I'm a midget. I'm going to be going up that ladder. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing that show as well.
What's the craziest character that you feel you've played for a Freak Show?
I think that robotic nun was the crazy one. What was I? I was a robotic boxing nun. 3 things, and I had to pull all 3 at the same time. So I come out dressed like a nun with big, huge boxing gloves and being like a robot all at the same time. That was challenging.
I think the Freak Show, even though it's different from WWE and what you're used to, you have to have a lot of charisma to be able to pull off some of these characters, and I think it's more psychology than what you probably do see on a WWE, Lucha Underground, or TNA. I mean,
it'd be different though.
It's different, right?
Having to think about your moveset and stuff like that is one thing, but then just being in character would be something different.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. In fact, I emailed Paul Heyman last night, and I was telling him about the Freak Show, and I said I love it so much because I feel like I'm part of a circus. That's what it reminds me of. It's like a circus act, but with a lot of talent and a lot of wrestling, but with a lot of different crazy characters, and yeah, it's just I'm really, really happy that I could be a part of that promotion, so.
You just have a bunch of listeners that just probably freaked out and
they're all like
just by hearing Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman.
He's been one of my mentors throughout since I met him in OVW.
Oh, okay.
And we've kept in contact all these years.
Wow.
So he always tried to help me get my foot into the door to actually getting signed and getting a contract.
Let's tell Paul to get you in WWE.
Well, I'm not interested. I'm not really interested. I'm not pushing for that anymore. No. But back in the day, that's what he was doing for me. He was trying to help me get there.
I could have seen her as a Paul Heyman girl.
Yeah, there you go.
Paul Heyman girl.
That's right. I love Paul Heyman. He's such a good guy.
He's like, I always say that with the ratings the way they are right now, and how storylines are so stale, I'm like, why not give it to Paul Heyman? But I always hear him say he doesn't want to deal with that headache. He wants to be at home anyways.
Yeah, he has his agency.
WWE?
Yeah. No, not really.
What about Lucha Underground or any of the other ones?
No, I haven't been watching it.
She focus on her match.
Yeah, I focus on the shows that I'm in.
You know what? There's a few wrestlers that do that. They don't watch nothing. They just focus on themselves and train and get, go to work.
But again, she wasn't a fan going into it.
Yeah.
The other ones are fans, and that's why they still watch it.
It's a little different.
So it
Plus,
makes a lot of sense.
I kind of get a part of me, as much as I say, oh, I'm not interested, I have to admit, if I'm there at the show or if I'm watching it on TV, I'm kind of bummed out. You know what I mean? Because I put all my heart and soul into it at that time. And I've let go of it. But at the same token, it's just like, what would be my life if I would have done it? What could I have done differently, or what to have gotten me there? I don't want to feel like I gave up on wrestling. I want to just feel like, because I continue to do it, and I have a respect for the sport. I'm not bitter about any of my experiences, but I almost think that everything is kind of meant to be, and everything happens for a reason.
Well, it's like, not that I'm calling you a stooge, but it's like the Three Stooges. Did you ever watch that movie documentary with Mel Gibson that he did a movie of them? And the Stooges, of course, they want to make movies, like major films, like the Marx Brothers and stuff like that. I know it's kind of like out of wrestling, but it was never on the cards for them to do films. It was just shorts, and that's all they're known for. But their heart and passion is that they wanted to do the major role films, but it just wasn't there for them.
But they still made it in another way.
Yeah, and they really had a bad, sad life. They didn't get enough pay. They got screwed over, and you have to look into it. I mean, it's really well done by Mel Gibson. But I get it. I'm not saying that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally get it.
The story of Butcher's life.
Yeah.
Very similar. He's all Three Stooges in one.
Yeah. Now, you also work with Lucha Girls, right? So how did you come to get involved with Lucha Girls, and how fun is that?
I love Lucha Girls. I love Jezabella, Sylvia, whatever. I gotta remember 2 names all the time. I met her through, what's her name? New York Knockout Nikki. And we just hit it off ever since we met. And so, because Lucha Girls does everything. They do the shows, they do the videos, they do everything. And I do everything. So we're like a perfect match for each other,
Have you worked with Allie Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I love Allie.
We just had her on last week.
Yeah, I noticed. I saw that. Yeah, she's great. And I've worked with her for Lucha Girls.
Now, what is the rest? I forgot the name of it. It's not called. What kind of wrestling is it?
Lucha Girls?
Yeah, because they have a different name. I know. Allie mentioned it a different way.
Really?
Oh my God! It's wrestling, but it's
custom wrestling.
Custom wrestling. I couldn't think of the word custom. God.
No, it's okay. Custom wrestling isn't really. Custom wrestling is where a fan orders a match.
Okay.
And they have their own script, and they hire the wrestling girls to perform that script for them.
Have you done custom?
Yes, and I love that too. But they're very, very cheesy. They're so cheesy, I won't even watch the freaking video.
Did you get like some weirdos like, I want to have a custom match and rub Pepto-Bismol all over us? And,
Yeah, well, we got the tar and feather match.
Yeah.
All right, what's the weirdest custom one you've been in?
Yeah.
Well, what's the weirdest request you've heard?
Oh, I don't know if I could put that on air.
Please do. Your audience.
Quiet. I want to hear this.
Everybody just cranked up the computer volume.
There's some sickos out there, I'll tell you that. But no, but the tar and feather was probably the most unusual one I've ever done. I was getting poured with maple syrup as the tar and feathers poured on me, and we're doing this outside brawl. And but what's so great about it is I get paid so much money for it. I get paid more money doing a tar and feather match than I do wrestling for any promotion.
But and just to clear the air on this one, it's not the way people assume. Right, because some people might think of it like
people judge it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because they think it's kind of like a little underground thing, which it probably is. But I'm not doing anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, and neither are the people that I'm working with. And as long as we're not doing anything that we don't want to do, then I don't see anything wrong with it. Just for the fact that somebody orders a custom match
it's not like you're
script.
being forced to do it. You're just
right.
And it still takes work and mentality. I mean, some type of psychology to.
Now,
Yeah.
to prepare yourself for. I mean.
Yeah, I got to look the part, whatever part they want me to look like. I have a custom on Tuesday where I have to play this business secretary woman that's challenging another secretary woman, and we're supposed to circle around in our skirts and our shirt and like do this whole thing for a
Corporate
half hour. You know, so.
I mean, it sounds like fun. I mean, yeah, some people might say like, oh, because we're guys, but I mean, it sounds like.
It is fun.
It's fun. Is it fun?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie Parker loves it.
when you guys do these customs, do you guys also go to their houses to do these customs? Because I noticed there's like living rooms and bedrooms, and like for example, I have this picture here.
Yeah, that's Robin's house.
Okay.
There's a lot of filming that goes on at her house. Basically, think of it.
Don't distract me.
It's like every.
Oh, Roy, here you go, Roy.
Show the camera.
Isn't that a great wrestling hole too?
It
is.
I'm like sitting
That's
on
like-
his
that was like the
face.
best-
I mean, on his head.
Do you mind if I show some
Sure,
facts
go
that
for
way
it.
you know- Look, just so that we know Butch is not a bad guy. Let's see, where's the camera? Can you guys
Sorry,
see,
man.
guys? That's custom matches.
Right.
Look at that.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
you do go to different
So we
people's
go to
houses?
different places, where they have mats set up, where they have a wrestling ring set up.
And safe.
And save.
There could be even hotel rooms where we're wrestling in a bed in a hotel room. So just different.
No, just,
Various
I mean, you don't have to
locations.
look at the pricing, but is it expensive
What?
to do these custom matches?
Like if I were to go, do I
Or-
go like
He's already
online
thinking about it.
and then do I want to do this?
That's what he's saying. He's told me.
Do I go online and order it?
Yeah, you would go like to somebody like Jezebella,
Okay.
because she's kind of like one that handles that stuff.
Mhm.
Or you could even contact any of us wrestlers.
Right.
But yeah, it is expensive. Like the 30-minute match that I'm going to do on Tuesday. For 30 minutes, I'm going to get paid $250, and so is the other girl, and so is the guy that does the camera is going to get paid $50. So already right there, that's a $550 match this guy's paying for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Dave was like, I can
Well,
do
just for the
that.
talent, but then you have to, like you
That's
said,
the hotel room.
person filming.
See here?
I mean, you're walking out like a $1,000 expense almost for paying everything, every expenses. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
expensive.
does it
I got $8. What can I get?
Imagine, does it sometimes
Get a pack of jerky.
Old jerky at that.
Does it get a little dangerous sometimes? Like someone gets a little aggressive at the end, or maybe pops a boner or anything like that?
Oh,
Well, like Ali said that when she did a match with Tito, remember that he kind of
But then again,
well,
he
he's
went a little-
wrestling her.
right.
Who
No,
wouldn't
but
get
he
a
went a
boner
little-
with Ali
no,
Parker?
not the boner. That he got a little aggressive because he was used to the wrestling, and then this was like a different type of wrestling, like the custom from wrestling. So he was a little like gripping a little harder, and
Yeah, I have noticed that.
yeah.
Like with pro wrestling, it's much more intense, and then when you go do a custom, it's more real fluff.
Right.
It's like really phony baloney.
yeah,
But like you said, do you have like people maybe that sometimes forget?
yeah.
What I get scared of is people that say that they know how to wrestle, but they don't know how to wrestle. So, and I automatically know that when they put me on a hammerlock with the wrong side. And I'm like, oh, is this what this is going to be like? So I get worried about doing moves with people that I don't know very well, and I can already tell that they really don't know what they're doing.
What do you do in that situation? How do you handle that?
To be honest with you, I just go light and I go with it. I don't try to resist it. I just kind of like let myself go with it, because I think if I try to turn them a different way and try to maneuver it and control it, I'm going to make things worse. I say my prayers as I go through it. So yeah.
Now, is there a website where if somebody's interested in ordering or checking out a match? Is there a website where they could go?
He's ready.
Well,
Hey, take my money while I'm ready. Shoot.
It's always
I got $8, damn it.
you could always go to luchagirls.com,
Okay.
because that's
What is your wrestling name on there, please?
what is my Jennifer Thomas?
No, go ahead. So luchagirls.com.
And then there's also private wrestling sessions you can do, where if
Okay.
you're a fan and you want to wrestle a girl, you can do that too. And that's like sessiongirls.com. But that's for not just wrestling. It could be boxing. There's guys that like feats of strength, so there's bodybuilders on the site. So it's like a mix of athletic wrestling, or athletic-based type of sessions, should I say. So.
I think David wants to do a private show with Johnny Mundo.
Ah.
He makes Johnny
There might be
pay
some
him.
good marketing there for you. That might take us to the next level.
He makes Johnny pay him.
No comment.
See?
It's the first time I ever hear that word.
No comment.
That means you could.
Do you miss competing in the bodybuilding and the fitness, or?
No, I like to have my cereal in the morning every once in a while.
Good
I
Charms?
miss it. Yeah, Lucky Charms. I only eat the marshmallows out of the Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That's the best part.
Did you get a little personal? But did you have any more kids, or?
No, just my one and only.
Really?
I'm not meant to be a mother. I need to quit.
No,
That's why she took up running.
Yeah.
To get away.
That's right.
How's the fork?
Uh-huh.
So let all the guys know out there, are you on the market right now, or are you seeing something?
No,
Did we not just establish this at the beginning of the
You
show?
let her answer the question.
I'm on the market, but I'm taking time off.
Okay.
Didn't we establish this at the beginning of the show?
I don't want to use men as rebounds.
Jennifer,
Yeah.
Thomas, Gomez.
Well, you did.
Oh,
Typically,
yes.
you did.
Oh, yes, even I forgot.
See?
See? See how important you are?
I didn't look at you long enough.
Yeah, I see. It's because I keep avoiding. I don't want you. I got a couple of admirers and
Right.
stalkers. Oh, shut up. I already know where that's headed.
Yeah.
Forget you. Well, you guys made me lose my train.
Train of thought.
Train of thought.
He's blushing right now. Dude.
Yeah.
You're crazy about doing a trade.
What size are your arms?
Oh, I don't know.
Thank God. you
The last time I checked,
I'm gonna flex at the same time with you.
there were 12 and 3
I know
quarters.
you want to flex,
Because I just want to see.
Oh, you got some nice
He's gonna
big,
fart.
big guns.
I'm pretty much I am going to blast one.
It's not gonna be free.
Gun show.
What's harder? Competing
You don't want
in a
Way to go, dude.
Anyways,
Come on, David, it's
go
in
ahead,
your
Dave.
arms.
competing in a fitness
Or wrestling.
or wrestling. What was harder? Or are they the same?
I'm going to try the
Oh, good
expired
luck.
jerky.
Gotta be with you.
I think wrestling was harder.
Really?
Wrestling was harder because I had to do much more with the body as far as, I don't have to get slammed in bodybuilding. I just got to lift weight, So I definitely think the wrestling was harder for me.
I kind of figured both because I like the women fitness business going on these days. It's much different now. Now these days we're just like putting it constantly on Facebook and Instagram and taking it to a whole new level. And actually they're becoming more like celebrities now.
Who, the fitness girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on how you market yourself.
Yeah.
And
But then
how-
again, they got husbands.
We're gonna see
and
how
everything.
strong she is ripping that
It
thing right
helps,
now.
I know, right?
Oh,
I know how to rip it. Rip my jerky.
Well, that training's coming in handy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Now let's see if I can chew it though, because it is pretty hard jerky.
Yeah, it is really hard. Yeah. I chew one side and I was just drooling on the other. Good luck.
Okay, I got it.
That's
Good.
just a little nibble. That's a big chunk, and that's fine.
Have you done any TV shows or acting?
I've done a lot
movies?
of pilots that've gone nowhere.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's an attempt, though.
Because people say, "Oh, can you do this for my whatever?" and I'll do it, and nothing ever happens from it. The only thing I did was for HBO. There was a Real Sex, that Real Sex
Yeah.
series they got.
I used to
going
watch
on.
that as a teenager.
They had a whole thing on mixed wrestling, so I
Really?
was on that.
Season 4, episode 9. Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Not even I know. I never watched it myself.
Just kidding.
Now we know who's gonna be ordering the custom matches
Yeah.
now.
Uh-huh.
If the opportunity comes around and say that you oppose for new, would you do it?
No, that's one thing I'm weird about. I don't know.
Oh, good for you. This doesn't have to show and tell. I wouldn't want my daughter
I
to do
think,
that.
honestly, a woman is sexier with clothes on, but it depends on what clothes, how they wear the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Maxim's much better. I like
Yeah.
Maxim.
I mean, because you
than
could see
any other magazines.
anybody naked, but I think there's some sexiness to it. I think that's why they created lingerie. I mean, in all reality.
You know, it's so funny because in those custom videos, a lot of men do request that they be topless or whatever, and I say no to those. I only do ones where I can wear a bikini or some sporty outfit or schoolgirl outfit. I don't care about being sexy. I can be sexy, but I don't have to be topless to be sexy.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the people that was managing one of my stores for me, she says, well, if you go topless, you'll make a lot more money. And I'm like, no. You know, and I'm like pretty content with the money that I make now with keeping my clothes on. So it's like, I'm fine.
So you say store, what kind of store do you have?
It's a clips for sale store. You don't want to go to that site. It's a bad site. Really, it is. But I'm a good girl on a bad site.
What was that? How long was I out?
Were there any girls that you didn't get to work with that maybe you would have liked to have worked with, as far as like in OVW or?
You pretty much work with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I got to work with Natty. I got to work with Beth. I got to work with ODB. I got to work with Melina. I got to work with Shelly. You know, I got to work with Kelly. I got to work with a lot of the already. If there was anyone, I can't think of anybody where I feel like, oh man, I wish I could have worked with them, because I feel like I already have. And I'm not very familiar with the current girls, so I wouldn't know.
Was TNA or Impact Wrestling an option, or?
I did try for TNA like a couple times, but I didn't really I wasn't aggressive with it, not the way I was with WWE. So
TNA, I can't pass it either. It's just like whatever.
They were good for a little while.
In the beginning, yeah. Pre-Hogan days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hogan kind of killed that.
Hogan days kind of killed that kind of thing.
Oh, politician Hogan.
Yep.
Brother.
That's all right. He's got enough money to buy him now.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, he does. Maybe he will.
He's gonna. That's big fat rumor.
Well, his wife gets half.
Probably.
If you could go back in time and change anything, would you change anything?
No.
You would.
I think everything. I'm happy with everything, even the good, the bad, the ugly. I wouldn't change any of it, because even with the bad, everything was a learning experience for me, and it made me grow from it. So, no, I wouldn't change anything. I don't have any regrets for any of the decisions I've made.
Besides being on this show, huh?
Everybody's regret.
This will never be a regret.
This is about like 7 years ago. I think 7 years ago, we had a little match, and you don't think you remember, but that was the first day.
If you survived, that's a plus right there.
I saw her. I was in my truck, and she was coming out of the car, and I was kind of starstruck because of her physique. And then when we went inside, and then afterwards, who was the guy that was handling you and somebody? You guys were doing something separate from us. Then I walked in, he goes, do you want to be a part of it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, definitely. And then when he said it was you, I'm like, oh, definitely. And I'm making these passes at you, and I'm like telling you, I'm in the butcher, I'm telling you where you want to go in the back room, and I'll show him my beef bologna and my big salami and my big fatty.
It's starting to come to now.
And then we go to a restroom, and you pull me to a side, and then you grab me by the chandelier.
And then take you against the wall, right?
Right.
I do remember this.
Yeah.
I do remember.
And then you grab me by the balls, and then you said, I'm just curious, were you impressed?
Yeah, she was impressed.
She couldn't remember it, for crying out loud, all right?
She probably was. No, you know what? She was probably like, damn, is the air conditioner on? 'Cause I don't feel too much.
See, I was her first
He must have been swimming.
He must have.
Yeah.
I was the first one, so there you guys go. So get your heart out.
Hey, Sim Bodie and I had a custom match once where we wrestled in the freaking bathroom. I swear. We were.
That's a big dude.
And I was trying to shove his head in the toilet.
Swirly time.
It was hilarious.
Now, you did win a championship in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Why? It doesn't sound very excited about that one.
Championships don't mean anything. Not to me, anyways.
I couldn't wait to get rid of that belt. I'm like, can I do the next show and lose, please? Just hand it over.
And that one was the World Independent Ladies Division Wrestling Championship.
Yeah.
Not a good time?
I just didn't like the people behind it. I mean, it was just one of those, it didn't mean anything, really. It was given to me too easily. I like to earn my shit.
You're earning that beef jerky right now, let me tell you.
How Roy's looking at you when you're talking. You eat that beef jerky like he's watching a movie.
I'm just amazed she's gone through that much of the beef jerky.
See, that's my thing. I know how to eat. I know how to eat.
I'm surprised you haven't asked her, what's her diet like?
I was
Beef jerky.
Get that beef jerky.
Besides the beef jerky.
Jerky and cereal occasionally,
Yeah.
too.
Just marshmallows.
Are you very cautious about your diet?
I go through phases. So there's times where, no, I'm not very cautious at all, and I go eat a frozen yogurt every day, and I'm just living life. And then I'll look at myself like, oh shit, I better do something quick. And so lately I have been. And what's been working for me lately is eating the same foods over and over and over again. So keeping my meals the same every single day.
So I mean, you won't get like a Carl's Jr. burger or anything like that?
Hell no.
So
No.
she's in
And
a
you
lot
know
more
what? I've been
inspired
trying to go
jerky.
vegan too. You
No,
know?
don't.
And here I am
Not
eating
working.
turkey.
Butcher, you just lost your friend because you haven't had much success with vegan people.
I'm not saying I've been
I
successful at
respect
it.
it.
Obviously,
So
I
that's why you don't
haven't.
want people like
Yeah,
that.
she's
I
showing
know.
you right here.
I know. It's tough. It's tough to
It's
give up.
really tough.
I'll buy you. I'll buy you
No,
some.
it's a good thing. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's
It's
good
just the
Mhm.
behavior.
Next Valentine's Day, I'll buy you some.
Oh, he's gonna be your Valentine?
Oh, he knows what I mean.
I'm sure this window knows.
I think there's a story to tell.
Oh.
There's too many. I just got bad people. Anyways. it's
Okay.
fine right now.
How'd they treat you in the locker rooms? Was it pretty?
No, they treated me good.
Yeah.
You know, I have an interesting story, though. When I first started at UPW, I was getting my first tryout with WWE, and Marty, I don't know, forget his last name, he's a referee. And he
Elias?
Was,
Hispanic dude?
yeah.
Elias.
It's gotta be Elias.
He gave
Shout
a
out to
speech.
Marty.
He said, if you see Vince walking through the corridor or whatever, everybody just goes like this and like
Parting of the
separates
seas.
for him, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, huh? Really? They like clear his path? Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Come on. He's not like God or anything. So I remember when I went to the tryout, somehow, some way, me and Chris Masters' girlfriend, we had a tryout. That happened. Vince started walking right towards us, and I'm thinking, should I move out of the way and go 10 feet over here? Or should I stay where I'm at and, you know, whatever? I'm like, I want to stay where I'm at. I want to just walk right up to him. In fact, I want to talk to him and ask him where the bathroom is, because I can't find that damn bathroom. And it went fine, and he went and he showed us where the bathroom was and everything. So I was kind of proud of myself.
Good for you.
You know, like I don't like to be intimidated. I don't like to think people are above other people. You know?
I don't know. I've heard that about Vince. Like, he likes people fearing him, but at the same time, I hear that he likes people standing up to him.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think that's what we like about it. There's Thomas. Come here.
Right.
No, I'm not going to
He
ask
didn't
him
like
to
me
kiss
enough
my
to
ass.
hire me.
How is my boy Chris Masters? Did you work with him? That's my buddy.
There he is.
I know. He's a good guy. I met him. Yeah, I met him at UPW. We actually got in a U-Haul accident together. He was helping me move, and we were going into an apartment garage, and we weren't thinking that the U-Haul top was higher than the clearance, and that
Don't say it,
made a
'cause I know
big
what you're
mess.
thinking.
Nice.
But I haven't
I'm
seen
like,
him.
nice.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Great, huh?
He was here. Oh, well, yeah.
January.
January, right? Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
23rd. Yep.
Yeah.
Did he ever heal up from his leg?
He's actually in Europe teaching some wrestling classes and giving
really?
what do you
Good.
call it? He's still injured, but he's doing like
Seminars.
seminars
Did he
and
have the
stuff.
surgery done?
Yeah.
You did have it done?
Would you do seminars?
To be honest, I don't think I know enough to do seminars. I could tell stories. But I don't think I have the real knowledge of wrestling. I mean, I like to think that I do, but I don't. You know, when I listen to like not Tom Howard, God, he's an old school wrestler, Tom something. He was just with Sin. But I've been to other seminars and I listen to them talk, but they're veterans of the business, and it's just like, wow, they just know it. They know everything like a science. It's on point. I don't know it that well, you know, so I don't feel like I'm qualified enough. I'll go, but I won't give.
What's the craziest wrestling story you could tell us that you can tell us?
Craziest?
The craziest thing.
I don't know if I have a really crazy story. I have like a girl fight kind of drama kind of story.
Oh, let's hear it.
Do you know Victoria?
Yes,
What's her name?
Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie, she was just here.
No, I know her. The other one, the one that's on TV now. But I only know her by her real name.
On TV now, Victoria?
The black girl, tall black girl.
Alicia?
Yeah.
Alicia Fox?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
She used to ride around a lot with Gail, too.
Okay.
We were at OVW together, and she did something to piss me off. Like, really piss me off. You know, and I'm a pretty mellow person. But we had a match, like, the next day together. And I'm like, okay, this is my chance. Like,
Got
do
to give
I...
a receipt already.
Yeah. I'm like, do I or don't I? And, I mean, it's not my craziest wrestling story, because I can't even think really of any, but I always will remember that one. I gave her a snapmare, and I kicked her right in the back. For real. And she went crying, and she went to go to Al Snow. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah,
Oops.
but she knew.
Yeah.
She knew.
Do you still
She
keep
didn't
in?
say anything about
Huh?
it? She didn't say anything about it to you?
No, she just ignored me for like who knows how long after that. And I still really haven't talked to her. Once you betray me like that, ooh, it's done. I don't care who you are. Mm-hmm.
Do you still keep in touch with any of the maybe some of the guys or girls that you trained with
Idol.
down there?
Do you know who Idol is? Mm-hmm. I keep in touch with Idol a lot.
Heyman.
Yeah. Heyman.
We're saying that name for ratings. Heyman.
And of course, Katarina. Kat.
Katarina, if you're listening, you know I would love to have you right here sitting across from me on this show. Just throwing it out there.
And Shelly.
Shelly.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have a Shelley story.
Right?
That's Butcher's best friend right there. Butcher
I
who?
wish you the best. Anyways, speaking of cat, that big pig. Not her. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Her, that photo that you guys took, that big old.
Yeah,
hog,
yeah.
That pig was huge.
Yeah. That's what you call it,
I
genetic.
apologize, please. Not fantastic.
Thanks. You just lost the one girl I've been wanting on the podcast. Now she's gonna say, "Why you want me on there when you call me a pig?"
We were at Gentle Barn in Santa Clarita. Basically, it's animal sanctuary where animals have been slaved from the slaughterhouse.
Well, you know what? There's a Farmer's John right. There is a Farmer's John's right here. It's an actual slaughterhouse.
Used to be a nice pig right there, too.
Yeah.
You like that? You like that? It's like just kind of.
This is vegan beef jerky.
I only wish it was. You know, and I've been having a hard time with that, really. So, yeah, that was a huge ass pig. That was a pig on steroids, big time.
No, that thing was huge. I saw you guys on it.
I know.
And
it was sleeping, and we couldn't wake it up or nothing. It just stayed. Yeah.
Now on your graphic it said choreographer.
Oh my goodness, that Paul Heyman did my website. His agency did my website,
Okay.
and they put choreographer, and I'm like, choreographer for what?
So can you dance?
No,
I was like, please show us a little sample here.
I can't dance worth shit. So some of that stuff is just exaggerated. I have to, but it's not my fault. I'm not the one that wrote it. But yeah.
So pretty much you're happy with everything.
Yeah, I am. I feel like I feel like I'm on the right path, even though like nothing went exactly as planned as I had it in my head back 10 years, 15 years ago. But I feel like it's worked out. I'm content. I'm satisfied.
What's in the future? What do you want to accomplish that you haven't? Yeah.
There's no magic
What's
there.
in?
I just want to make a difference in people's lives somehow, some way. Whether it be my underground wrestling or my above ground wrestling, I don't care. I want to like create magic. You know when you listen to a song in a car and it just gives you goosebumps?
Yeah.
It's like you just feel the song. Like that's what I would love to accomplish. It's just people to feel me somehow in some way. Whether me coming out of the curtain, whether I give them some kind of spark or moment, you know? I'm not planning, you know, to change their lives forever or do anything like that, but just try to be something positive where, you know, like you don't have to beat yourself up when things don't happen your way. You don't have to see yourself as a failure. You just move on from that and continue to do what you love to do. Because if you continue to do what you love to do, some way, somehow, you're going to be successful at it. And even if you don't make $1 million, you're going to be happy. You're going to have your freedom. There's some people that make millions of dollars and they're CEOs of companies, but they're a slave to their job. And they have no freedom. So, you know, I just kind of like to think that my goal in life is to just somehow make a difference in some sort of way. And that's it.
Very nice. And we applaud you for that. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
before we wrap up here, we're gonna play a little. You want to host it today?
What were you guys
First time you do it.
No, this is the second time we do it.
Which one?
Show me how you do
We
it.
are going to do Wikipedia Fact or Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to look her up on, she's not the pianist Jennifer Thomas.
Right? My competition.
There's a musician,
Yes.
called, a singer, I think.
Out
called
of
Jennifer.
Seattle.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you get her state correct? Wisconsin?
Yeah, I know. My bad. Yeah, I don't know why I thought of Wisconsin. It was a shirt. I got mixed up.
No, I'm a West
Alright.
Coast girl.
So I'm going to throw out some stuff here from your Wikipedia
Okay,
page.
sure.
You're going to say fact fiction. You can elaborate if you want on it, or you can just say
Okay.
one word answer. All right, here we go. This is why we only have one viewer. All right, birth name, Jennifer Rachel Thomas.
Fact.
All right.
It's Rochelle.
Rochelle, oh,
Uh-huh.
sorry.
Okay, though.
Well, I was close.
That's
Uh-huh.
good.
I didn't see the other L, okay. Born in Dallas, Texas.
That's fact.
All right. Your birthday, I'm not going to say the year, October 15th.
Fact.
All right. Ring names. Want to say them all?
Sure.
Karma without the H. Karma with the H.
Karma with the H fact.
Oh, so karma without it is.
Right. False.
All right. Daisy May.
Fact.
Jennifer May.
It was one or the other. Yeah.
Okay. Jenny May.
Yeah.
Jennifer Fit.
No.
Oh, just Jennifer.
Yes.
Really? Just Jennifer?
Just Jennifer. Just Jennifer.
Okay, I said just Jennifer.
Oh, I thought that was just where it was standing.
No.
I was changing it to
SoCal
Jennifer.
Chloe.
Yes.
And Chloe.
More snow cow Chloe.
All right. You were trained by Navajo Warrior,
Yes.
Ultimate Pro Wrestling,
Yes.
and Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Yes.
And your debut was in 2003.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Let's see. I'm gonna find one here. I'm trying to find something. You were a finalist in Washington's Miss Hawaiian Tropic USA.
Yes.
Why are you laughing?
That was so long ago.
I didn't see no photos of that.
You soon moved into fitness and figure competitions.
Yes.
All right. And you placed third in your first contest, the Greeley, Colorado Aloha Classic.
Yeah, I placed first for my first show and won the overall.
Wow.
So they didn't name my first show.
No.
And my second show, I came dead last. But it's okay.
It says she then placed first in her second competition in the Capital City, Florida Championships.
Yes.
All right. And says Thomas was approached by numerous professional wrestlers who also trained there, including Mark Henry, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Luther Reigns, Chris Masters and The Miz.
This is pretty accurate, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Someone is talking to you very well.
Yeah.
You wrestle for Impact Zone Wrestling?
Yes.
Okay. World Wrestling Entertainment?
I was never under contract with World Wrestling Entertainment, but I did train there.
Developmental contract? And
I didn't even have a developmental contract,
oh,
believe it or not.
and you went on tour
Yes.
throughout South Korea, Japan, Guam, and Hawaii.
Yes.
Oh, Ohio Valley
And I
Wrestling?
did that with Norman Smiley
Oh,
Good old
and
Good old
Virgil
Smiley. Oh, Virgil.
And-
Oh, Virgil.
Disco.
Oh, disco. How did you not learn how to dance?
Right.
He clearly doesn't know.
He just goes up and down the
That's
road.
right.
You came back in to wrestle for Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling?
I think so. I remember I did one Canadian show.
And you were, and on December 19, 2008, Thomas now using the name Snow Cow Chloe, sporting both new attire and a new snowy playmate gimmick.
Yes.
All right. So far,
Yeah.
we judge it as
I
pretty.
don't even read my own shit, but that is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You won a Emerald Cup in 2011. You were 11th. You ranked 11th.
Yes.
Ah, there you go.
Everybody knows all this
They know
information.
everything, and you had nothing to do with that.
Dude,
I didn't
brother's
have
on
nothing
you.
to do with it. I
Oh.
know. It's crazy.
Gee, are you the one stalking?
Are we over yet?
Well, I want to thank you for coming
Thank you.
on the podcast. Don't put this as one of your regrets, okay?
No. Never regret being here.
Even though you have to sit next to Butcher.
It's okay. Butcher's a good guy.
You
And he
want
knows what happens if he gets out of line, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
You guys saw it? Can you show that again? It was like this. It was a half full.
I saw this.
It was a half full.
It was like grabbing some peanuts
Oh,
out
it's
of
a
the.
chandelier, dude.
You want to
Thank
plug your website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the fun stuff.
Believe
Plug
it or
time.
not, I don't have Instagram.
Really?
I
I
have
just closed mine
Twitter.
today.
And
I got bored with it.
I just have Facebook, and that's Jennifer Thomas Russell, because there's plenty of thousands of Jennifer Thomases out there, but there's only one of me. And really, my only website is jenniferthomas.net and sessiongirls.com.
Sometimes I just like when I hear your name first time Thomas, I'm like, how can I contact English about that?
Yeah, right?
Well, before we wrap up here, let me give some plugs here. This Sunday, March 27th, there is a pro wrestling seminar in the city of Inglewood, 10722 South La Cienega, and that is with Simbodi, and the person giving the seminar is the former WWE Tag Champ from the Rockers,
Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys check that out. And then, real quick, if you want to see Jennifer in the ring, besides the websites she mentioned, you can check out Freak Show Wrestling on April 14th, and that is taking place at the Fremont Country Club, 601 Fremont Street in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you are interested in purchasing tickets, go to www.ticketfly.com.
The 14th?
Freak Show Wrestling. Is Gay Dolph Hitler on that show?
I hope so.
That's David's favorite.
That's Roy's favorite. And guys, make sure you guys come to the Wrestling Guy store. We've got JR's barbecue products,
And beef jerky.
beef jerky. We have the Lucha Underground merchandise, and actually, we're gonna have a big WrestleMania sale coming up on Sunday, April 3rd.
Are you going to have it for 2 days or 1 day?
One day, and we might have a Saturday night's main event sale coming up this weekend.
Yeah. And you
Maybe
close
this
at
Saturday.
11:35.
And we're gonna close at 11:35. So we'll give information on that.
AM or PM?
PM. So, thank you again. Let's give her a round of applause. You guys, I'm glad to see both your hands came up from under the table finally. For all of us here at the Wrestling Guy podcast, we are out of here.
No, don't give him a kiss.
Oh, yes.
That's all right. That's the last kiss you get.